Hydra, Cobra, Madame Hydra, Viper, Alley Viper. Oh, I'm going to screw this up massively. Hey YouTube, what goes on? Welcome to Disavowed Action Figures, where today we're bringing you another action figure review, taking a closer look at the new Marvel Legends Controller Wave Madame Hydra. Okay, yeah, so everybody hates this thing. Alright, everybody's a dangerous word, I get that. You gotta watch out for that pronoun, but a lot of people have put a lot of hate on this thing, and I totally get why. I totally understand it. Yes, it should have been on the Quake body, the new Marvel Legend Quake body. Oh, it's so great from that Shriek Marvel Legend. Here's the thing, though. If you watch my channel, you know I love Hydra. You know I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know I love Secret Warriors by Jonathan Hickman. So I needed this in my collection really, really badly, and I didn't even have the original one. So let me know in the comments. I know that this buck is terrible. I know that it's a terrible body to use for a female figure when we have a brand new one. And I know most people are going to say Marvel Legends team cheaped out. I'm not going to disagree with you, but I do have an emotional connection to this character due to liking the comics, so I will cut it some slack a little bit. So let's take a closer look at the packaging before we rip this thing open. Oh, and actually, point of order here. I got this for $10. I was at a toy show. It's put on by VR Hobbies, the Allentown Lehigh Valley toy show. A vendor had this up for $10 on the table. Obviously, they kept the Build-A-Figure piece. $10, no tax. I'm taking this all day for my collection. So I'll be a little bit less angry about it that I didn't fork out $24.99 for a body that probably isn't too great. Closer look at the packaging. There is the name Madame Hydra. I will call her Viper throughout this review because that's who I know her most as. Great Hydra logo right there on top of the box. Absolutely great. Side artwork going on. Same on both sides. Legalese, all the crap you don't care about. Here is the write-up right there. The woman once known as Viper assumes command of Hydra, taking the title of Madame Hydra and turning her organization into her personal army. Yeah, that's why I love this, because it's Hydra. It's related to the Secret Warriors, Jonathan Hickman, and I'm glad to have it in the collection. And again, feel free to let me know in the comments how much you hate this. It's okay. I get it. It's cool. And inside the box, great Hydra logo on the cardboard as well. Yeah, there it is. Hydra logo. Okay, let's look at the figure. And out of the packaging, I can honestly tell you I forgot how much I hate this body mold. We had this for so long for our female body molds. We get that great Shriek, which is also on the Quake figure. And how quickly we forget how bad what we had was before. This thing's hard to stand. The articulation's obviously going to be left wanting. But other than that, at least they gave us some decent accessories, and the head sculpt looks pretty great. So let's take a closer look at those accessories, closer look at the deco, and then we will move her around and do some comparisons, because we're not going to do a whole lot of reviewing regarding articulation on this thing. And articulation, we do get two fists, two punching hands. That's always great. They at least threw those in for us. And we get two guns. We do have holsters for the guns as well, so there is storage. Both guns are the same, very soft plastic, and we do get like that snake-looking skin sculpt, or I should say paint, on each side of the gun. I did, as always, watch MCU Collector's review. He had me laughing because I guess that one of his guns actually came not painted on one of the sides. So yeah, shout out to him if you didn't hear already. That was a QC issue. The rest of our guns are painted. Yeah, there it is. Head sculpt looks okay. I like the hair. The green is great. I know the first figure they did back in the day did not have the green hair. Overall, you see that the green for the gloves are painted on right here. Some mold going on right here for the end of those gloves. But again, this is the color of the plastic that was painted over with the green. As far as paint concerns on mine, there's a little bit missing right there on the side. So yeah, it's not going to be perfect. Like I said, this is not going to be a top 10 figure candidate of the year or anything like that. I do like how they put the Hydra logos on the sides right there of both of the holsters. That's pretty cool. I'm okay with that. Belt buckle here in the front also has some paint on it. The face looks good. You have the green lipstick. You have the green, I guess, eyeshadow going on right there. So yeah, this is how I picture the character from the comics. I'm pretty happy how it came out as far as that goes. And articulation, like I said, it's going to be the old buck. So head will turn, but the hair is going to get in the way. Down, you get a little bit, but it looks really freaking weird. Up, you get next to nothing at all. Arms will go pretty far out on the T right there. You only get single jointed elbows right here, but it means you do get rotation at the elbow. The hands, on this hand, you do get the left to right joint right there for the articulation. On this hand over here, it's the up and down. So that's how it's supposed to be for the gun, obviously. As far as torso goes, doesn't look down very far at all. Looks back pretty far. You get some gappage if you really kind of push her back right there. The sides, You do get a little bit to the sides. I feel like I'm going to break this dang thing. So a little bit to the sides right there. There is no waist cut, so all you're going to get is on the torso. That will go all the way around like that. I don't suggest doing it too often. Legs, you do get the upper thigh cut right there. Double jointed knee. Doesn't even go that far up. As far as the boot cut, there is no boot cut down here. The feet will go down about that far. It will go up about that far as well. That, of course, has that ranker that everybody loves. Gotta love the rocker. This we don't love. If Glenn Webb was given this figure, he'd be pissed. There's like next to no splits on this thing at all. As far as how far forward she'll kick, pretty far up right there, actually. As far as how far back it kicks, not too far. But that's pretty much the articulation on this thing. Not too jazzed about that. More important just to have this on the shelf with my Hydra goons. Let's see how the accessories look in her hands, and let's do some comparisons. And here is Madame Viper. There it is, Madame Hydra, aka Viper, holding the guns, and it looks okay. This is what it is. I get it's getting a lot of hate. I know why it is. What can I say? From what I understand, Marvel Legends only has so much of a budget for each wave, and this is actually a really great wave. I said earlier I only wanted maybe one or two. I want a majority of the figures in this wave, and now that I got this for like $10, I probably will pick some of those up, even if they are loose. So I just kind of feel like whatever the budget was, it wasn't there to get the female buck that we want on both of these female figures, so they gave it to the new character of Quake. But overall, I'm glad it's on my shelf. I'm glad it's going to go with my Hydra army. I'm glad I can fight against some of the better bucked women. Let's do a comparison to this thing and get out of here. And getting the elephant in the room out of the way quickly, here is the female buck that we wish that Viper, aka Madame Hydra, would have been on. I'm just moving on from it. I get it. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'm happy to have this on my shelf with my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra figures. Again, I have a very strong affinity for the Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. Comic books, mostly Secret Warriors. I talk about it all the time by Jonathan Hickman. Go read it, please. Let me know what you think. But yeah, here's Nick Fury and Maria Hill with Viper, who are all very prominent characters in that comic book series. And speaking of Hydra, here are her Hydra running mates. We have the Red Skull here from, I believe it was the Zemnu Build-A-Figure, Bring on the Bad Guys wave. It's a great figure. And we have the Baron Zemo, which is one of the older figures. So I don't really have many of these in my collection, but I will say this, for all you people that are new collectors, they had toe articulation way back when, in the early days. In fact, everything had toe articulation, I think, back then. But I picked him up since he is such a core member of Hydra. If you're watching this Marvel Legends Hasbro team, can we get a new Baron von Strucker? Because that'd be really freaking cool. And as you know, it would not be the Hydra organization without their goons. So here is Viper, aka Madame Hydra, standing with the chunkier, bigger Hydra goon, and the smaller one, the shorter one. This was in the original Toys R Us. I think it was Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack. I got a bunch of those when they clearanced at the end of their show there. And also we did get this in a single release years ago. Then we got it in the 2-pack. Then we also did get it as the Hasbro Pulse Army Builder. So a couple of those in people's collections, I'm sure. And some other knowledge you may not be aware of, Viper actually was married to both of these guys. She had a long-term relationship on and off with Silver Samurai. That's the retro-carded X-Men figure right there. This is a really underrated figure. I love that thing. Got that really cheap, actually. And then here is the Wolverine Tiger Stripe. She married Wolverine. I think it was around issue like 125, 126, 127 of the Wolverine comic books. There's a whole Sabretooth fight going on. It was crazy. But yeah, she's been hanging out with some of the different characters in the X-Men universe as well. Not just an Avengers, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sort of figure. She works her way around in the superhero circles, you might say. Here are some comparisons to the sister organization of Hydra, which would be Cobra, on the other side of Hasbro. Here is the Target exclusive Baroness from Cobra Island, as well as the Alley Viper. So don't confuse the Alley Viper with Viper. They both tend to like their pastel bright colors, though, which I guess is pretty cool. Random comparison time. Here is Viper, aka Madame Hydra, hanging out with the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys, a Lobo, big mother fragger, and of course the NECA TMNT Raphael in Disguise from the Casey Jones Raphael 2-pack. Yeah, at least they got the green theme going on. Lobo apparently didn't get the invitation on that one. And two more random scaling comparisons. Here is Viper, Madame Hydra, standing with the Plunderlings Feral Cheetah, and of course, the big day is coming. Spooky season's arrived. We have our NECA Frankenstein action figure. Love that thing. And I can't wait to start getting all my horror and NECA figures out onto the shelf in the living room for this spooky season. And as always, last but as everybody likes to say, certainly not least, here is Viper, Madame Hydra, standing with the AEW Unrivaled Jazzwares Orange Cassidy. Orange says, I like green too. All right, everybody, and that will close out our action figure review on the Marvel Legends Madame Hydra, aka Viper action figure. Again, I like the background of this character. Yeah, I get it. I know the body should have been the new buck, but I'm still happy I got it. And yeah, I'm a little bit biased because I got it for $10. Not even tax on that, just $10 flat. So really happy to get it in my collection at that price. But down the road, I'd love to get it on the better buck. I'm sure customizers will go crazy with this, which is awesome. But she looks great with my Hydra army on the shelf. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. Doesn't cost you anything. It helps us grow the channel tremendously. Then hit that bell for notifications. That way YouTube will actually tell you when we post new content here on the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and for daily toy content and daily toy updates, check us over at Instagram and Twitter at disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 Ps of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, but most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.